Right, we're back. What's going on, guys? How's everything? It's the last day of the task read aloud. It's day 5, day 6 of Black Children's Book Week. They're wrapping up their events. Make sure to check out their site, find out what's going on. They have a great closing party coming up this Saturday, a pitch competition that's going on. So be sure to check them out, all right? So now we are here. Instead of the read aloud of Where's My Daddy and our latest book, Are You Coming Home, which is part 2 of Where's My Daddy, I'm just going to discuss these books. Where's My Daddy is a subject that we wanted to broach about absentee parents. Yesterday we read about I Miss My Daddy, the military family, military dad that's away from his son and his wife because he's fighting for the country. So we wanted to touch on that subject matter and show how it looks like I got a bow in my head. That's Jamiyl behind me. She's the star of the book. I don't have a bow in my head. Fix that there. But so Jamiyl is the star of this book, Where's My Daddy? It's about her and how she responds to her dad leaving the home. So this is a subject that was dear to my heart because, as I said yesterday on yesterday's live, that, I went through the loss of a parent. My dad left the home when I was 10 years old. So, this was subject matter that felt needed to be addressed because I realized I was still carrying that hurt so many years later, and we released this book in September of last year, 2021, and it's got a lot of great response, a lot of great feedback, a book that's much needed. That's what we were told, and there's a lot of people going through it, just currently today, dealing with the loss of a parent and, the anger and emotions, all kinds of feelings that go with that. So, I'm a dad myself. I'm not about bashing fathers, black fathers. I'm all about challenging the stereotypes. That was the subject of my graduate thesis many years ago. Turned into a book, passed the torch, how a young black father challenges the deadbeat dad stereotype. When I did my graduate thesis way back in 2007, we had just had Trey. So I was a new dad and I wanted to, if I was going to get a degree, if I needed to write a paper to get my master's degree, I felt there had to be something that was close to my heart that I had an interest in. And around that time, there was a huge narrative in the media about black men not being present, not being around for their kids. And I wanted to challenge that. A lot of my close friends are great dads. They're great dads, But I know 2 of them offhand that went through much of their childhood without their father present in the home. So I know it's a touchy topic, but the conversation is needed. It wasn't until I started writing this book, that I started to heal a little bit more because unfortunately my dad passed away before I was able to ask him the questions. We reunited, I would say 15 years after he left, but I never got to talk to him and ask those tough questions and make peace. So, it's very important. It's very important in the healing process. So my writing about these topics, writing these stories has helped in the healing process, talking about it at our events, at our vendor events and festivals, even on this live right now. Every time I speak about it, it's cathartic, It helps me to be a better person. As I said yesterday, it helps me to be a better father, better husband to my wife. I had a lot of anger and resentment inside of me. So I didn't realize that I was carrying that trauma, and your wife sees it, your kids see it, so it's better to talk about it and get it out, so that's what we wanted to talk about, transparency with the kids. Kids are very smart. They know what's going on. They can sense the room. They know when their parents are not happy. They know when there's an argument. They know when there's an issue. So I was no different at a young age. I sensed the difference in my dad and my mom's relationship like weeks before he left. So I saw it coming, but you never want to believe that as a little kid that you'll lose a parent. So that's what we put into this book here. As I said yesterday, there is a disclaimer because it is a heavy topic. We found that in our events that when a lot of the adults that come up and see the book title, they're triggered. They find themselves like, wow, I need a moment to talk about this, let alone my child, So we address the adults, a lot of adults ask, how do we read this to our child? And, we have the disclaimer in the front, and at the back we have the worksheet at the end of the book. So the book series is 3 parts. We wanted it to be open-ended. We were consistent. We wanted to definitely make sure that, because there was a lot to pack into a children's book, So we didn't want it to be, all right, start, middle, end, and everybody walks off into the sunset. We didn't think that this story deserved one book. So it's going to span 3 books. Where's My Daddy's the first. Are You Coming Home is the second. And the 3rd book we're working on right now, we want to have it out by around June, Father's Day. That's the goal. We'll see what happens in Jalen's journey. So we wanted to run the gamut of emotions. Where's My Daddy talks about, the backstory of their relationship. Jalen spends a lot of good years with her dad, and we see how their relationship blossomed and why she loves him so much. And then, he leaves. Right? So Jalen's grandmother is a key component in this story as well. She's a key character because she's like the middle woman, as we so to speak. She's the buffer between Jalen and her dad. She keeps the communication open with her dad, which is the grandmother's son. And she tries to talk to him about what he did, and how it affects Jalen. So we can't forget about mom in the situation as well. So mom is more prevalent in the 2nd book, Are You Coming Home? This more talks about, dad is already gone, and, Jalen's feelings and how mom feels about her grandmother allowing her to communicate with the dad. So these are all things I went through, all things I went through. Say hi. Wave at some people there. All right. And these are all issues I went through. I had conflicting emotions about speaking to my dad after he left. I was still in that phase like, all right, he's maybe on a mini vacation. Is he coming back? I didn't know what was going on. I was 10 years old, it's grown folk stuff, but I had an idea there was an issue. So whenever he called the house, I picked up and I spoke to him, And, it came to a point where I had to choose between the 2 parents. And, we never want that to happen. We want to be cognizant of, the feelings of the mother and the feelings of the father, because there's 2 sides to every story, right? So we want to make sure we get that out there. So we want to push for transparency. Kids deserve it. They deserve to know what's going on, no matter what their age, and we want to put this book out there. The worksheet in the back are questions that I wish that someone had asked me or spoke to me about my situation, but, we go through things so we can teach others, So this is what we wanted to talk about in this series. The difference between Where's My Daddy and I Miss My Daddy. Elijah in I Miss My Daddy, he knows where his dad is, right? So his dad is fighting for his country. That's why he's gone. That's why he's in a separate, area of the country. So it was just a matter of when he's coming home, or, sometimes you have to worry about, within war, God bless, a lot of the soldiers that made the ultimate sacrifice. You never know if they're going to come home, if they, So that's the sensitive topic in that book there. But Where's My Daddy is a more talks about the absentee parent. So, as I said, I had a couple of close friends that went through the same thing I did. They're amazing dads right now. They're in their kids' lives. But what I learned, and I'm still learning, thanks to my wife, who's also the co-author, Tracy, and she let me know that being present, you could still have those issues that you still have to work through in order to be a complete dad, to be an active father, what I call an active father. So being in the home is not enough. I wrote Past the Torch. I was all about, challenging the deadbeat dad stereotype. Being in the home, being present. I'm going to be present. I'm going to break the cycle of absenteeism that I went through. I'm not going to be like my dad. But just because you're in the house doesn't mean that, you're a great father. People could be just there and not contributing in any shape or form, emotionally, not just physically, not just economically, but, emotionally as well. So she, God bless her, she helped me to realize that, I still had a lot of hurt to work through because it's rough. This book, Pass the Torch, I talk about hip hop. Hip hop pretty much saved my life because a lot of kids that don't have that male presence in their life, they tend, some kids end up looking to other means for family, for familial support, whether it be gangs, whether it be older influences that are not so positive. So we praise, we lift up, what we call social fathers, the teachers, male teachers, male coaches, basketball coaches, baseball coaches, mentors, right? Guidance counselors, men just that have their uncles, other family members that are males that are there for support that can move them in a positive direction. We have a lot of forums on social media now. Social media wasn't around back then, but now there's a lot of social media support for men to share their stories, to share how happy they are, the pride they take in being a father, and their goals to be in their kids' lives and not be like the fathers that left them behind. So it's more of an awareness to raise awareness and be transparent. Not make the same mistakes. My generation, like I said, I had a couple of friends. We all grew up without a dad, and we're here. We're still in our kids' lives. We're pressing on. It's not easy. It's not easy to deal with trauma, past trauma, and raising a family. It takes a lot of help, a lot of support. Writing is my vice to heal because I don't have the chance to talk to my dad, right? So I mentioned hip hop in the book I wrote, Pass the Torch book. We have a lot of music figures that grew up without a dad. I talk about it in the book. P. Diddy, Jay-Z, these guys. Jay-Z talks about it in Where Have You Been, in a song on one of his old albums. He talks about it, how he felt when his dad left, and, how great he felt to reconcile with his dad before his dad passed away, So it's that feeling of closure that is very important for a child. He was able to grow. That's just one example of a celebrity, but there's so many untold and unsung stories, unsung heroes out there that are not in the spotlight, that are doing their job and are there for their kids, right? I talk about Snoop Dogg in the book, a guy that was lambasted in the media for his gangster rap content, but the man started a Pop Warner League to raise up young boys. You never heard anything bad about him being a father. So this is all stuff we want to talk about. It's never too late, to be a great dad. And, even if you have that an issue with your kids, just, talk it out. Your kids look at you as a hero. They take cues from adults, not just in the autism world. Just not, we talked about with our other books, how parents that don't have kids on the spectrum, how, their lack of information might lead to a lack of empathy. They can't relate. So, we the same thing. You know, if you never went through it, you don't know what it's like. You know, these kids look up to you. They take their cues from the adults in the room. So it's very important that we leave life lessons that they can follow and bring to their own relationships in the future. You know, so it's a very important topic. It's heavy, but it's very important, and that's what we wanted to touch on. So both books are available on Amazon.com. It's also available on our website. You know, don't be fooled by the title. It's a heavy subject, but you know, read it, check it out, see what's going on with Jalen, mom, dad, grandma, and you know, pick up Are You Coming Home Part 2. So Part 3, the third book in the series, where, like I said, we're working on it. You know, we're gonna see what happens if we wrap it up. You know, will dad come home? You know, that's the beauty of literature. You know, you get poetic license to change the trajectory of the story. You know, and I felt that was a story that couldn't be wrapped up in one children's book, right? Similar to the Amazingly Awesome Amani series. I started out as a chapter book. I started writing chapters, but, you know, my co-author said that, Tracy Ann, she says, you know, the picture books have more of an impact. And it's the same with this. Picture books have more of an impact. So, you know, kids are drawn to the pictures. Adults are drawn to the subject matter. So we wanted to, you know, catch the eyes and then send the message along with the great inside of the pictures. There's the message, right? So we spread it out across 3 books. First 2 books are out right now. Where's My Daddy? Are You Coming Home? Right? I Miss My Daddy is Elijah's story about military families. Shout out to the West Point Spouses Club, very supportive. Blue Star families, if you can, reach out to them. Their Instagram pages, support them. They're doing great things for the military community, in the autism community. They're doing a lot of great things in West Point, New York. And, you know, we appreciate all their support. And we appreciate the support of everybody on the live. Black Children's Book Week has been supporting us all week in their stories, bringing light to the work that we're doing here at the Amazingly Sensational Kids Task. You know, we're all about transparency, advocacy, sensitivity, kindness, you know, among other acronyms and superlatives, all right? So we appreciate you guys rocking with us all week. We're giving away our books. As I said, check out our stories. Check out the previous post that I posted today. Look at all the questions over the course of the 4 days, and you'll get free copies of each book. The Amazingly Awesome Amani. The Amazingly Awesome Amani takes on Jitters and Fear. The Sensationally Super Sandy. Where's My Daddy? Are You Coming Home? And I Miss My Daddy. All right? So we're giving away. We want to give it away. So hit us in the DMs of the Task Instagram and let us know the answers. We want to give you the free copies of these books. All right? Are You Coming Home? And I Miss My Daddy just came out this week. So I did the first live reading ever exclusively on the live yesterday. So you could be one of the first to have that in your hands. You know, just check out our stories. It's only up for another 24 hours. Get the questions and check it out. We want to give these books away, all right? We want to share what we're doing with you guys. We appreciate all your support. We thank you. Enjoy the rest of Black Children's Book Week. Check out our website, theamazinglysensationalkids.com. Check out our books, Amazon.com. It's at the Sister Shop, the Mills at Jersey Gardens. Support women-owned businesses, Black businesses. It's at the Lit for Black Kids bookstore. You know, she's doing great things as well. She had us on her Read Aloud for Black History Month last month. Shout out to Brianna. And, you know, all the Black authors that have put out something that can help kids grow and read. You know, we want you to read a book. You know what I mean? Read a book. Put down the phones. Read a book. Read a book, all right? Check out our Task TikTok. TikTok at Task TikTok. You'll see videos that I was just referencing. And we're doing a lot of things, man. We got a lot of things coming up. Sandy, Asia, who you saw on Wednesday, she has her own book series coming out. You know, we're working on that. So it's a lot of things happening. The follow-up, I have the follow-up to Pass the Torch coming out next month. As I said, this book came out before Trey was diagnosed with autism. So the follow-up talks about, how I was feeling and my journey and learning that he was on the spectrum and how that made me feel. So it's very deep, very deep. You know what I'm saying? I pull back the layers in this upcoming book. So that's something to look out for, because we know April is coming up. We're in Women's History Month in March. April is Autism Awareness Month. So we're revving up for Autism Awareness Month. The Amazingly Awesome Amani has a new book coming. That will be dropping next month for Autism Awareness Month as well. We haven't seen the Amazingly Awesome Amani in his own book since 2019. That's going on 3 years now. So it's about time we bring him back where it started. And we're coming back with him in 2022. So we have a lot of things planned. Other things that I can't even say as of yet, because we wanna surprise you. We love to share our work, but we got a lot of things coming. All right. We appreciate your support. Follow us, tag us, along all the social media platforms, and we'll keep bringing the content to you. All right. Blessings, peace and blessings. Enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend. All right. Be safe out there, and pick up that book, read a book, share your books. All right. Let us know what you're reading, and check out hit us with the answers in that DM. All right. For this giveaway. We want to get these books away. Have a good one. Peace.